Chloe Cleaves here. If you couldn't guess, I'm a visual branding director. That means that everything you see and watch that is related to a brand, I helped create. I help companies and individuals build a visual identity around their business. Oh, so you're saying you already know this? For real? We'll see about that. All right, folks, now it's time to lean in. After this class, you'll understand the basics of visual branding and why everything from color to font choice matters when creating your image. I like to break the concept down into 3 subsections: foundation, graphics, and imagery. Foundation is all about how well you really know your brand. Now, for those of you who are influencers, you're probably rolling your eyes thinking, well, I know my brand better than anyone because I am the brand, right? Let me tell you, that attitude won't get you anywhere. I personally started in the influencer space and now work with brands as well. The first thing I ask is, why? Why did you start your business? What is the purpose that it serves for both you and your potential clientele? Now, what is your why? Take a second. Really think about it. You got it? Okay, now that we've established your why you're doing this, let's bring in who you are. Everything you do in association with your brand is a message you are sending out into the world, the whole world. Even though you may not be the face of your brand, people will associate your brand with you. In cases where you are the brand, like if you're an influencer, then the way you communicate about your brand becomes an extension of yourself. People need to like you and like what you stand for as a business. The best way to get who you are across is in your messaging. Messaging refers to the value your company or brand offers and the language used in your content. It's what makes buyers relate to your brand by inspiring them, persuading them, motivating them, and ultimately making them want to buy your product. However, that's not the only metric that's important. You also need to be consistent. Consistency creates brand loyalty. Understood? Next is graphics. Do your visuals match your message? Essentially, is what you're saying about your company and who you are consistent with what you are showing the world. For example, if you were starting a clown training program, would your messaging be focused on the negative or scary associations people make when they think clown? No. Instead, you tailor your content to focus on the positive and how training as a clown can be a great foundation to then pursue acting or other performing arts. Honk honk. When you understand the core values of your brand and yourself, creating visuals to align with those values becomes easier. This is where the logo comes in. Let's look at Amazon and see how well their current branding translates. If you really think about the Amazon logo, under the words, there's an arrow that also translates as a smile. Now, Jeff Bezos has never said what his values are when it comes to the company. However, we can pretty much pick up on the importance of quickness and making us happy by receiving our packages on time. Believe it or not, imagery is not the same as graphics. Graphics are what you create to identify your brand, like the logo. What do your potential clients see in the media? For example, when they go on Instagram, do they see a lot of unrelated photos on someone's feed, or are the posts actually curated? This is where you can really differentiate yourself. Images can tell us a story, evoke feelings, and make you think about things. So when someone comes across your page, you want them to actually pause and look. It's in those moments that they decide to follow you or not. This is even more the case with business accounts. I want you to take a second to go look at your own page. Try and remove yourself from being the owner of the account. Now, would you follow you at first glance? First impressions are everything. It's the difference between me teaching the class in this or this. So you're thinking, all right, I understand I need to be consistent in what I'm putting out there, the imagery and everything, but how do I keep it fresh? Too many times, business owners lose motivation or the consistency because they don't have enough content, or so they think. Content is a lot easier to create than you think, and I'll go into that later. But first, let's go back to foundation. Earlier, we talked about how knowing who you are as a brand is the foundation that sets the tone for everything else. Now, let's break this down a little further. Most brands we support on a day-to-day basis have their messaging all figured out, as they should. But before snagging a social media name and buying your domain for a nice professional email address, let's take the time to really study the key points when it comes to brand building. The purpose. As I mentioned earlier, this is your why. Why are you choosing to do this? Why do you need to do this? Yes, we need to create revenue and we have our own personal goals, but this should be a lot bigger than that. It's about what are you bringing into the world? What is your offering? Next, the audience. Who specifically does your product or service help? Too many times, lack of sales actually comes from talking to or promoting to the wrong people. Everyone isn't your audience, literally. Even the biggest companies don't have all 7 billion people on this planet as a customer, and that's exactly how it should be. Hence the term, target audience. Third, the solution. That same audience you just discovered that's just for you, what are they looking to do exactly, and how does your product or service do it? And finally, the reason. Why do they need your product or service? Now say it with me. P-A-S-R. Poppy's auntie says roar. Purpose, audience, solution, reason. Now say you've got those 4 points figured out. How are you going to communicate to the world? Yep, a brand statement will pull it all together. One sentence that tells specifically who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and the why. Let's take my company for example. My brand statement is, we are a boutique branding firm assisting in the creation of effective brand messages for small businesses and entrepreneurs looking to tell the right story and convert to sales. This statement is not only for you, but for anyone looking for immediate information on your brand. It can also be used as a condensed elevator pitch. It should automatically tell the person if you're the right fit for them, and vice versa. From a personal brand standpoint, it can also be used as a tagline for your website. What's yours? Take some time to list out all of the possible options in your workbook for the 4 parts of the statement: who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and why, and then condense them. Don't sweat it if you don't get it right away. Sometimes it's harder than you think. So as we wrap up this lesson, let's think about why this all matters. I'm sure you were thinking, I'll just keep it simple, get my logo and my colors decided, right? Wrong. How can you decide on your visuals without understanding the foundation of who you are as a brand? In the next lesson, we'll dive into visuals and how they back up everything we just spoke about.